Shadowland. They've got fire, they've got style. They make chaos look worthwhile. Partners in crime, heartbeats aligned. Together they're one of a kind. They're the couple that slays together. Storming the world, it's now or never. Back to back through thick and thin. In the game of life they always win. Blazing trails, leaving legends behind. Love so fierce, it's one of a kind. We're the couple that slays together. Oh.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Couple That Slays Together. I'm Katie.
Hey, and I'm Brandon. Well, Katie, let me ask you something.
How am I doing?
No.
Oh, good.
I want to know if someone came to your door and continuously knocked and you were creeped out, would you even answer or say anything? Yeah, I feel like I would just kind of hide.
I would do a couple of different things possibly. I would set our alarm off because we have an alarm system. I would grab our GUN or
Gun.
and I would call 911 if the alarm system didn't go off properly. And I would get police officers out there immediately. The very thing that I would not do is open the door.
We're horror fans, not horror victims in this house.
We've seen a thing or two.
Yeah. It's interesting how a lot of slashers, among a lot of other subgenres of horror movies, a lot of slashers, if you think about it, are based on true stories or true events. And that's kind of creepy, Scream, based on true events, and The Strangers, based on true events. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm big into true crime. I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts. I love my Dateline and my 60 Minutes and all that fun stuff. A lot of the serial killers out there are truly like strangers. Like, come to mind, like Ted Bundy. He literally just drove around, and if you agreed to get into his Volkswagen Bug, his Beetle, you were done for. Yeah. And it was as simple as that. If he said yes, then guess what? You were gone.
Yeah.
It states in the beginning of Strangers 3 that we're reviewing today that most crimes are done by strangers.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well,
our serial killers are done by strangers.
I will start us off with our or Would You Rather. Now, again, if you've never seen the show before, Would You Rather by Horror. We do this as our little kind of intro teaser, if you will, by Sophia Rivers. You think she came up with all these all on her own, or do you think she kind of had friends?
Possibly. Some of them are very off the wall.
Yeah.
Some are very specific, and some are very general. We found this on Amazon, but you may be able to find this in other websites or locations.
Yep. All right. So, you know what? I'm going to go more toward the front. You're always picking from the back. I'm going to try something.
Okay.
I'll go there. Okay. Would you rather? I don't think we've done this one. Would you rather engage in a high-stakes game of chance with the Grim Reaper himself, bargaining for the freedom of your soul, or surrender to the icy grip of fate when it comes to claim you, suffering unspeakable horrors as you await your final judgment?
I don't even know how that's comparable. Because in the second one, you have no opportunity at all. In the first one, there's a 50-50 chance you may win, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the first one.
Well, so basically it's would you rather play for a game and then die, or when it comes time for your death,
just accept it?
Well, no, you have to suffer unspeakable horrors before you die.
Well, no, the first one still.
Yeah, and that's how I took it. And I would also say the first one.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Since I usually go to the back, I'm just going to go to the very next page. See what we got. All right. Actually, I think that this might be one that we've done, so stop me if it is. Unearth a chilling headstone in your basement bearing your name, and etched at the bottom is the future date of your demise. Or be confronted by eerie missing posters featuring your image and ominously dated one day into the future. So basically, do you want to know the date of when you die, or do you want to know that tomorrow you're going to go missing?
I guess that's hard. Like, I'm going to go maybe the day that I die so that I can prepare and do things that I want to do before then, or I've got till then, I can, whatever. Yeah, that one.
I think I would do the missing one. Because I would think that if I knew I'm going to go missing tomorrow, I might do something different right now.
Yeah.
And missing doesn't technically mean dead.
Right.
So maybe I just finally got up the courage to leave your butt.
Maybe.
Just kidding. I love you.
All right. Well, today we are going to be reviewing The Strangers Chapter 3. Now, there was a lot of confusion I noticed on social media when The Strangers Chapter 3 was out. There's a lot of people commenting, well, they had the one back in 2008 or whatever it was, and then they had the one in 2018, and those were great. So the fact that everybody's saying shit about this one must mean that this one took too long to come out, and that's why they, and it's like, folks, if you're into horror at all, like, or if you've seen, I mean, they've literally been promoting this trilogy. They said when it came out in 2000, when it was announced in 2023 that a new Strangers trilogy was coming out. I'm not sure what the disconnect was there. I mean,
well, and even when we were getting tickets at the movie theater, they were talking about how the second chapter, they were like, didn't it just come out? And they looked up the date and they were like, oh, it came out last September.
Yeah.
And so like there literally was Strangers Chapter 2 last September.
Yeah. And I think that was a really big confusing thing too, that a lot of people didn't realize this was out, because the first one came out May of 2024. And then you were kind of expecting the second one to be a spring summer release, and it ended up being a fall September release. And it's like, oh, and I know we didn't get the trailer until maybe 6 weeks before. And everybody's like, what the hell's going on with it? I thought we were, did the first one actually suck so bad they just canceled the other two? No, they just took a little bit longer to do that. I think probably because of the strike.
Maybe.
But then also, but then the third one, it was announced, boom, February 6th. I'm like, oh shit, that's quick. We just had to stomach and swallow the last one. So that's kind of weird, but you can kind of see where this review's going already. But anyway, so our horror subgenre for this film is very obviously a slasher. Now, because this is the third one and we've been through shit, I said that this is at this point, it's a survival film. She's trying to survive.
Yeah.
Suspense and then a thriller. And again, because it's the third one, because we've been through shit, and because we're trying to have resolution, I also said it's abuse and revenge, because both sides of it, there's abuse and revenge, but then also the whodunit mystery, because we're still trying to figure out who all of these people are. How about you?
Same. I would say that the first movie was Home Invasion.
Yes.
And obviously we no longer have that. What about anthology?
No, anthology is something where it's separate little stories inside one big.
Oh, okay.
So like VHS or Creep Show or Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
This film was...
You could argue romance.
Yeah.
You could.
Could.
Not that it's good romance.
I don't know if I would say that per se.
With the chick and then the
Were they that? Were they crazy? I don't know. It just...
They were crazy in love.
I don't know if I'd say romance. I don't know. I might have shut you down on that one.
You might be wrong.
I don't know. Well, anyway. This film was written by Alan R. Cohen and Alan Friedland. Someone, what's his name, had a meeting with the Bobs. I feel like someone probably should have had a meeting with the Allens on this one. And was directed by Rennie Harlan. Our cast is an ensemble of dummies. No, I'm just kidding. Characters. We have Madeline Petch as Maya, who is being rumored to play Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's interesting. We've got Rachel Shinton as Debbie, her sister. You got George Young as Howard. Emma Horath as Shelley, or the pinup girl, one with the hair, the mask, who is pretty much dead at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Crystal Ellsworth as the dollface double or whatever.
Basically had one scene.
Yeah. Right. Gabriel Basso as Gregory / the Scarecrow. And the one scene you're talking about, that's actually a different actress. This is the one that was still alive in the hotel, not the flashback girl. Like, I didn't do any of the younger ones, if that's what you're referring to. I don't know. Anyway. We have Miles Yekini as Marcus. We have Pedro Leandro as Deputy Walters. And finally, we have the awesome all-star Richard Brake as Sheriff Rotter. Our little plot summary here is in the series' most brutal chapter, I guess. Maya collides with the masked killers and finds the only way out of the nightmare is in. Right off the bat, the timeline for this movie is fucked up, which it might be why you're a little confused on why you can't remember what I'm talking about, because
not the same actress wearing the mask as it is in the flashback.
Correct.
She killed it. They're different actresses.
Yes.
That's stupid.
I know. Well, that'll be a running theme throughout this entire review. It's whatever. But yeah, right off the bat,
this might just be a short review because we're already over this movie.
Yeah. Right off the bat, this timeline for this movie is terrible. It opens with a blonde girl in a motel, getting killed, and there are 3 strangers again. Now, when it did not tell us that this was a flashback.
With anything.
Yeah,
it had the date at the bottom.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
I must have missed that then.
It said so many years ago.
Well, still, I couldn't understand. I was like, did Maya already join them, and is this her initiation? Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
But then you ask yourself this, because again, I didn't see that, but then it cuts back to where 2 ends, and they never tell you. They never tell you like where you're at in the time. Like, they didn't tell you it goes back or whatever.
And you can't say that it was like their first kill or anything like that, because they killed Tamara as children.
Right. But also, I get that they're trying to be like the most basic, even at the end of the original Strangers, like from 2008, the Liv Tyler Scott Speedman one, their motive is simple. Why are you doing this to us? You were home.
Right.
So I get that the Strangers is supposed to be a simplified thing with being a slasher, but it's like, come on, dude, give us some information. At least tell us, or do like what Black Phone did, and Black Phone 2, and grade the flashback a little bit to where you can tell it's different from current time or some shit like that, In my opinion, Richard Brake, Sheriff Rotter, he's been a suspect of this whole thing since the start. Now, we obviously know that Shelley was the pinup girl, so we learned that at the end of the second one. So it is people in the town. She was like the waitress or whatever the hell she was, the hotel, person too. And the pulling up in a cop car. So when they find their friend dead or whatever, she kills the girl, and then whatever, the car pulls away, the truck pulls away, and then the cop car immediately comes up. So I feel like that automatically kind of killed Brake as Sheriff Rotter as a suspect, because that'd be way too not enough time for the truck to go away and then the cop car to show up or whatever. So this made me ask, is like, okay, how is he involved? Is there like multiple sets of strangers, and he's, the Scarecrow, and, also whoever else is in the suit? I don't know, So from this point, Maya kind of walks away from the situation. This is a very fast-paced movie, and not in a good way. So Maya gets to a church. She finds a church in like the middle of the field, the wherever the fuck she's at, the town, I guess.
Well, and let me ask you this: if you're being chased by at least 2 killers because you killed one of them,
right?
When you find a church, you go in to hide. Do you walk right up to the piano and start playing the keys to let people know that you're there?
Right. Well, but also I get you can't. It's hard to trust people in this town, but you don't know that Sheriff Rotter is bad at this point. Yeah. And yet she keeps fucking running away from him. I get he's a creep. Richard Brake looks creepy. That's why he's perfect for horror.
I just can't imagine, like, you're trying to hide out, you're trying to survive. Let me go and mess around with the piano.
Yeah.
I get it. She is a pianist. It was in the first movie. I get you know how to play the piano, but if you're trying to get away and not let people know you're there.
Yeah. But also, so she's in the church, at this point she is kind of tricked Sheriff Rodder into taking the cop car. Was this before the church?
No, that was after.
Okay.
The church is the guy in the mask thing. He doesn't have the mask on. He even says there's no masks needed in church.
So that's
and
the
he
thing.
Pours her liquor.
Right.
And
pours 2 shots, one for him, one for her. That's for you.
Sits down in the pew, wants her to sit across from him, and they have kind of like a camaraderie meeting, which made no sense.
Well, and even worse, they haven't revealed that he's the Scarecrow yet.
Well, they've hinted at it with the tattoo and everything.
Sure, but I mean, they never came out and like at the end of the movie where she's like, "I want you to take your mask off," and she takes it off, or he takes it off, and it's him. But it's like we still haven't 100% for sure seen that it's him. Because
I didn't know we hadn't. I thought we knew it was him.
I didn't think so, but again, I could be wrong. But for me, that felt really weird because they were sitting there drinking. He takes a shot, she takes a shot, and she's like, or he's like, "You killed her," and she's like, "Yeah, you killed the guy I love." He's like, "Guess that makes us even." I'm like, Is this the big fucking reveal? I mean, think about how orchestrated Scream monologues are and reveals.
He says something like, "This is the point where you run," or "This is the point where you go," or something.
Yeah.
And he just stays sitting, staring in the church, and she hobbles out. There's no fighting. There's no.
Yeah. And this dude is so weird anyway, like as himself, like he's creepy and just.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do anything about it. He just. Like as a human, like not as the Scarecrow, but as like a person. He's like. But it's like if you already know that's her, why keep up?
And she knows it's you, and yeah, it's a weird cat and mouse, but it's a cat and mouse that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yep. So then her sister and I'm assuming brother-in-law or whatever, sister's boyfriend or something, they come into town. They've got a bodyguard.
Well, first the scene with the police officer, she's in the front of the car with him, and there's this kind of like back and forth, and she asks, I think, if he has a first aid kit.
Yes.
And he has to get out of the car because it's in like the back hatch part. And she steals the cop car, which I thought, okay, she's smart, because I would have done the same thing. If you're not trusting the cop, get him out of the way. You've got a car, get to the highway, get out of there.
Oh, yeah.
But then she's also freaking stupid because she's not paying attention in the first 5 seconds that she's driving.
Dig for something.
Yeah, she's trying to get something versus just like go. The only thing I would be looking at is how much gas do I really got to get out of this town?
Yeah.
And I still don't know. It's not clear if the truck is the main bad guy truck is what like sideswipes towards her, or if she's just a dummy.
I don't even think it was a truck. It was like another person just driving through town.
And it spooks her or stirs or whatever, and she right into a tree, and then the airbags are off, and she now doesn't have a car.
And I've had to swerve out of the way like that before, like someone coming at me is like, but I don't fucking go off road into the fucking ditch or a tree. Like, yeah, it's like, what? I mean, I get that's kind of a movie thing, but I guess, I mean, plot for this fucking shit. But anyway, so, all right. So then it gets to like, it gets to the point where her sister and her brother-in-law or whoever and the bodyguard get there, and they walk into the diner where we've seen that's like the central of town location. It's where they were eating in the first one, and then chapter 1, and the mechanics, next door or whatever. And you can tell that the town knows something. All right. Yeah. The town is where I'm really confused, because it's like, at what, you look at towns today. I mean, you've got, and not to bring up anything political, but you've got kids that are walking out of school for protesting, and you've got all these things. They believe in something, but it's like, yet in this movie, it's a small town. These people just accept that there's 3 killers, and that they kill out-of-towners and not their own, is what they've been saying. Why are you still okay with that? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever.
Well, I don't know that they're okay with it, but I also feel like the way that I took that conversation between the waitress and the sister was basically like, well, it's out-of-towners. It's no one that we ever know. It's not our family. And thought that she was kind of hinting like, we don't complain about it because we know then we would be next.
I guess.
Because then you also have like when the deputy person is like kind of figuring out that the police have to be covering for these people. What does this sheriff do? He kills them immediately.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those like, we know that they don't want to get townsfolk, but if you get too many questions, you will be one of them. So just leave it be.
It just seemed, the whole thing with the town just seems
I'm not saying
weird.
it's right. I'm just saying I think that's what the mentality is.
Well, especially with Shelley working as like a waitress and then also, or a server, and then also being like the hotel clerk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys not know that she's one? Like that's like the part that I just don't really get, you know. And then, but then it's like in the second one we meet Gregory at the house. Why isn't Gregory ever at the store, at the restaurant, or you know whatever? That's weird to me.
Yeah.
But I also, you know, it's the strangers. I shouldn't even know who the fuck Gregory is.
Well, and and the callback to when they were kids with what they did to Tamara. And then in the third movie here, they're showing the trial, and the little boy, which is the guy, Gregory or whatever, he's the only one that we see that is held accountable, even though she also was at the playground and
encouraging him to kill.
Yeah. And at least we didn't see it, that there was any consequence for her. And it was odd because it was like, his dad, who was the sheriff, was on trial more than what the kid was.
Yep.
And they were all shocked because the judge like basically dropped all the charges and was like, take care of your kid.
Yeah. Now that is one good thing I can say about this, and it's not not much of a compliment, but they did a really good job at making Richard Brake look naturally younger, like he used to. He very much looked like he did in 31 when he was, I ain't no fucking clown.
Yeah.
Looked just like that.
To me, he was a more creepier person than even the guy in the mask, even when he was wearing the mask, Gregory. But it just everything kind of fell flat.
Yeah. A couple other notes I had here. I kind of going back to what you're talking about. The sheriff and the deputy are talking about how the strangers have killed visitors but not their own. Why would the deputy? I mean, he's a person of law enforcement. Why the fuck are you okay with this? But also, he's like, why would the deputy call in this? He's like, I gotta call the state police on this. He's like, why calling the state police on the? But why? Because it was some of their own. Why would they do that and not the visitors? It's like he supports the killings and doesn't necessarily know their identities at the same time. It just, his role was very weird.
I think that it was like he finally kind of got that backbone where it's like the sheriff should be the one calling the state cops.
Yep.
The sheriff should be the one saying, hey, we don't have enough manpower or ability or whatever. And guess what? He's not doing that, so I need to do that. But it's a weak way of they're out at like the mill, and he's like talking through like, we need to get through to the state cops. Why didn't you just do it yourself?
Yeah.
Why don't you circumvent and say, hey, I need help here. The sheriff's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and just get it done. Why are you talking about it at the mill?
Right.
But I guess, again, because plot, that leads to his demise.
Yeah. So, and then another flashback happens to where they're like 14 or 15. And
they're like casing out people at the gas station.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, they're kind of seeing who's what, you know, they find. And so then they find like a couple. And, you know, they follow them back to the hotel.
Well, the guy is hitting on her.
Oh, that's right.
That's the whole kind of premise for whatever the name of the other chick is.
Yeah.
Not pinup.
Oh, Dollface?
Dollface.
Yeah.
So she's only like 14, 15. She goes into the gas station to get snacks. This perv starts hitting on her. He's obviously more in his 20s. And he's like, what are you up to? You know, like, what snacks can I buy you? And da-da-da. Turns out he's got a girlfriend. And the girlfriend's like, you promised me you would never do this again.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And it kind of leads you to think like he's into the younger girls. And that is what makes them the ones that they choose. Gregory and the pinup choose, you know, okay, this is the couple that we're going to go after. So they go to the hotel room.
Yep. And they go and they kick in the door and they're trying to knock. Well, they do the knocking and then they do the, is Tamara here or whatever?
And there's no answer. There's no anything.
Yep. And so then they kick in the door and then they see this girl has killed her boyfriend. He's laying in the bed dead.
Yep.
And she has a knife in her hand, and she kind of looks. They kind of look at each other and smile. She kind of looks up at them and almost a grin, like a smirk. And
It's like
then,
a kindred spirit. Like,
yeah,
okay, so yeah,
yeah,
you're
so,
not one of us.
yeah. And so then at this point, they've gotten like Scarecrow and Dollface have like recaptured Maya.
Well, and I feel like it's a little unfair because like Dollface, she got like the entire second movie of like the backstory of them and or Pinup.
Pinup did, yeah.
And then Dollface, that's all you get. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the only time you see her without her mask on. That's the only backstory that you've got. And really, that's the only lines that she has is just, you promised me you wouldn't do this again.
Yeah.
And that was it. I felt like that was a little unfair.
Yeah, I agree. But so they've got Maya, they pick her up, and then they, he's kind of like still being quiet, but he's got the mask in his hand, and he's like putting it on her. He's trying to force it on her face. He's like, "You're gonna fucking wear this," basically.
Mm-hmm.
He's
you're now my pinup.
Yep. And so then she pushes it away at first, but then they both get her in the truck, and then she's in the middle, put the mask on her and stuff, and then they go back to that same room for 24. They scope out a couple or whatever, and kick in the door, and they are basically Scarecrow kills the guy.
Well, once again, you've got them going, why? What did I do?
Yeah, they're tied up in chairs.
Because you were here. Like, it's another callback to that.
Yeah. But they're tied up in chairs, and then, Scarecrow just goes fucking nuts and kills the guy.
Yeah.
Leaves the girl alive.
Yep.
And then, kind of out of left field, you weren't expecting it, Maya then...
she takes this opportunity.
Yeah, she takes this opportunity to throw Dollface on the ground and basically bashes her face in and does all this shit, right?
Kills her.
Yep. But then, Scarecrow's kind of like, okay. You kind of tell he didn't really care. I mean, he cared, but he didn't. But
again, it's not fair and sad to Dollface.
Right. But anyway, so then he's basically got this really cool looking like sword, like it's like a curved sword.
It's a machete, like.
Yeah, but it's like curved. Like I remember it had like a crazy, like, almost like a 30-degree angle on it or whatever. But anyway, puts it basically in Maya's hand, and it's like he guides her hand to stab the girl and kill her.
She doesn't really fight it.
No, but she's also not really for it either, so it's weird.
Kind of like shaking and I think in shock of what she just did.
Yeah.
That she actually did just kill Dollface.
Yep.
But it's kind of weird to me because in the timeline of things, this is the same night that she just killed Pinup Girl.
Yep.
So like, why you're still in this like state of I don't know. She's been in fight or flight for so long.
Right.
Who knows? But no dialogue, no conversation, no true understanding. He just kind of guides her, and she's just like, yeah.
Yeah, and she's got the mask on and stuff,
Okay.
so it was weird. And then he he kisses the mask to her mask. I think, right? Yeah,
That's what they had done earlier with
Yeah.
the original Pinup Girl and him. They kissed each other while they were both wearing the mask.
yeah.
So then he does this with Maya.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of thought at this moment they were gonna start having sex with the masks on in the hotel after killing the couple.
I honestly wondered the same thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't exactly sure. I was afraid that it was going to be an R-word situation.
what?
Graping.
Oh, gotcha.
I was afraid that because she's still in like the state of shock, like she wouldn't fight back or anything, but that he would take advantage.
Yeah,
And it just very much feels like he's just replacing, like if the original Pinup Girl was his true love, he didn't really care for her all that much because he's just like, okay, you survived my attack before. You're the only one that survived.
Yep.
And you're hot. Wear her mask. You're now her. It's just watered down and lazy.
yeah. And not to mention, this is the first time in all 5 of the films at this moment where he speaks with the Scarecrow mask on.
Mm-hmm.
And that...
And I forget what exactly he said.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think he said something like, how did it feel or something.
Something like that. But it bothered me. And again, this is just kind of the icing on the cake, a little bit of a pick, because we've got Scarecrow from this franchise. We've got the Town That Dreaded Sundown's killer, that's the Sackhead. We've got Jason Voorhees in both Part 2 and in the 2009 reboot, who look very similar.
A lot of men with potato sacks on their heads.
That don't speak.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing, is that's kind of what makes that creepy, is They grab a potato sack, just something around, because they're just nuts. They're not going to go crazy out of it. They're just going to put a sack in their head. And for him to speak, it's almost like a perversion of the character. And I hate to say that, but it's like,
I guess I didn't really think that deeply into it.
Yeah.
But
I could go either way, I guess. I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker necessarily because this was already.
you could kind of take it as he's treating her like she's one of the group.
Yeah.
She's in the inner circle now. You're on this side.
Yeah.
Right? So you can hear me speak while I've got my mask on.
Yeah. So then we go back to her sister and Howard and the bodyguard. Hold on, Marcus. Were you gonna say something?
He had already killed Marcus at the mill earlier before the cop got killed. So they don't have their.
That's not true. So they go after that. He talks to you see the sheriff. They're following the sheriff, and the sheriff calls Gregory, and he's like, "I'm bringing him around the sawmill." This was after. I feel like this was after the deputy died, because
during the day, was it?
When the deputy died?
Yeah, when the security guard died, wasn't it during the day?
Are you talking about Gregory and Howard, or Howard and
the bald black guy, the security guard?
No, he dies at night.
Oh, okay.
So, I think because, yeah, he dies in the barn when he's like, I'm gonna lead you to the sawmill. I'm gonna lead you into the sawmill. So they drive up that way, and then so because I make a note of this. So he takes them to they come up on this trailer that's literally in like the middle of nowhere, like it's just an RV, like basically. And the three of them go in the RV, and basically Marcus tells both Debbie and Howard, he says,
you guys stay here.
Yeah, he says, only open this for me. Shoot through if anything else. This was
which they don't do,
but it was stupid logic, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know why you can't get a hold of your sister. This is a small town full of people you just met at the diner. Are you seriously going to tell two strangers who don't know the town, who don't know how to use a gun, basically, they've never really shot one, it seems like, you're really going to tell them to shoot through the door of who could possibly own this trailer? What if this is just somebody's RV, an old couple? You're going to tell these fucking people to do that? Like, what? That's not logical.
Yeah.
So then Marcus goes into the sawmill.
None of these folks have a lot of brains.
Right. Yeah. It is like backwood, friends in Michigan, like Bedford, Michigan is what it looks like, basically. So kind of like north of where my aunt and cousin live. But anyway, so yeah, Marcus goes to try to investigate in the sawmill, and that's when the cop kills him. This when Richard Brake kills him, Sheriff Rotter. And so then
he does not last long at all.
No.
Gone.
And so then Dollface and not Dollface, Scarecrow shows up to the trailer, basically, and the two of them are in there, and he's kind of messing with them, like going around doing shit, and ends up crashing the truck into the RV trailer thing, right?
At what point is she in the bed of the truck with the dead Dollface?
At that point.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. She's tied up and can't
He
move.
ties her, yeah.
Yep.
But even after he kissed her with the mask on, he tied her up.
Yeah.
And put her in the bed of the truck with the dead Dollface.
Yep.
That was a cinematic, like, okay, you're making a visceral, like, reaction in me of how creepy that would be.
And we had seen the Salmo earlier because he actually took the original pinup's body to the wood chipper, basically throws her in, and you kind of see it, you hear it.
Kind of like there. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, throughout this whole movie, not a lot of dialogue, not a lot of talking, very quiet.
No. And that it leaves a lot of questions as to why.
Yeah. So anyway, so then, obviously he kills Howard, he kills the sister, and then the sister, and then Maya is able to break free.
He like handcuffed her or tied her or something, because he takes the Dollface body out of the bed of the truck and he puts Maya in the front. Yeah. And so she's just like watching him do all of this. And I don't know that she fully knows that it's her sister and brother-in-law in there or not.
Yeah.
But she's still like in like this like stunned state, this like fight, flight, freeze.
Yeah.
And she just watches him do all this. And instead of Dollface body going put in the chipper, he takes her out and just like puts her in the field.
Yeah.
Like drops her off in front of the RV.
Yep.
Which I don't get why.
Maybe to see that her family's dead, wants her to see it.
Well, he does kill her sister right in front of her.
Yeah.
He does pull her out, but at the time with the truck and everything, I don't know that she knows until he pulls the sister out.
Yeah.
But leaving the doll face in the field, it seems like the pinup when they put her through like the wood chipper thing was almost like their version of like a funeral or a memorial or like setting the fire and the pyre and everything. But Dollface doesn't get that. She just gets dumped into a field.
Yeah.
And again, not fair to her.
Right. So we get to a point where Maya finds the shotgun in the front seat. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking in my head, like I say it in my head, play it out as like exactly as it happens. There's like this underground part of the sawmill, grabs the shotgun, literally goes down into where the sheriff is just chilling there.
He's sipping a beer.
He's like got like a desk with like some TVs and stuff.
Yeah.
And she goes in, pop, pop.
Yeah.
2 in the gut. And then she goes into like this room and like there's all these candles and shit. And, Gregory comes in, he's got the scarecrow costume on and he's talking to her again in the scarecrow. And she's like, I want you to take your mask off. Now, this is the point where I thought the movie was going to go full on and it was actually going to kind of redeem itself because I said, I feel like they were even talking about it. She says, you took everything from me. You took everybody I love. I have nothing left. I took everything from you and you have nothing left. And he's like, all we have is each other now or something like that. And so
I don't know. I was falling asleep.
She was. I had to keep tapping her.
Legit.
But this was like probably the most like intense part of the entire trilogy where I'm like, okay, are they actually going to redeem themselves now? Would they have redeemed themselves in my head as an A? No. But I basically looked at this as like a failing student and they were going to do some makeup homework to get maybe a CC minus. But I'm like,
way to put it.
Right. So I'm like, okay, so they're having these, like, it's kind of like building this crazy, like, suspense and, oh, shit, it's about to climax. What's going to happen? Oh, fuck. And she's like, they're kind of looking at each other. It looks like they're about to kiss. And it to me, would have kind of redeemed it just a little bit if she had joined him as a new stranger and then had gotten a blonde girl to be Dollface. And that's where the Liv Tyler one starts or something.
Yeah.
But fucking no. She fucking stabs him and kills him.
And they have this like long, like, she's like brushing down his arm.
Yeah, it's very sexual. And
slowly like holding his hand. And that's when I like literally started snoring. Yeah. I'm just like, get to it. I still don't know if she was only doing that to get close enough to him.
Yeah.
Or if she truly all of a sudden started having hots for him.
Yeah.
Or this is supposed to be like 2 days after he just killed her boyfriend, fiance, whatever he was.
Yeah, and I basically thought
come on.
I thought he drove her into like a silent insanity, like the rest.
Stockholm syndrome kind of a thing.
Right, but also like, all right, she's going to take up the mantle now because she has nothing left, nothing to go home to.
Yeah.
It's not like she's got a bird at home waiting for her, like, and send help.
It's like, you've made me a killer, so I'll just stay a killer.
Yep.
Stupid.
So literally, she leaves, credits. And I literally am watching this movie and I'm like, I literally did this. I was like, what the fuck? There were other people in the theater and I didn't even care. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
They like with the lack of dialogue in this movie.
There's one little part that you forget.
What?
Is that when she like comes back out the hatch, she's like walking towards the truck. She drops her hand and she has the scarecrow mask.
Oh, that's right.
The pinup mask. Again, though, no dialogue. No, nothing. You totaled interpretation here. Does she go burn it?
Right. Is she going to
Is she-
keep it as a souvenir? Is she going to
Is
become
she
it?
going to become him? Right.
Yeah.
Is she going to go take it to the police officers and be like, bam, maybe you should have taken care of this kid 20 years ago?
Right.
You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah. But either way, I'm like, what the fuck did we just watch? Yeah, there's people in theater. I'm like, I'm not even caring. I'm like, I am just my disdain for this. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell, dude?
I think of the entire 5 movies, the only one that I like is the Liv Tyler one.
That's not true. You like Great Night, the one in the RV.
It was okay.
I love.
I honestly forget about it a lot.
Well, that's what I was trying to watch it
Truly
yesterday.
forget it.
Yeah, I almost watched it.
No, I even forget it exists.
A lot of people do, but yeah, I mean, it's still good. Like I like Pray at Night equal to the first one, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it's whatever. So, all right. Well, we're gonna move into our interesting things of note. Or should
There's none.
I was gonna say I'm gonna move into our things of note. No, it is kind of interesting to read this part of it, but still, it's like, what the fuck? So this was a marathon production. All 3 chapters were shot simultaneously in Slovakia, which forced the cast and crew to jump between different non-chronological scenes from all 3 movies in one single day.
Maybe that's why it didn't make no damn sense.
Right. Psychological shift. Madeline Petch noted that in Chapter 3, her character Maya is completely stripped of her original personality, becoming a shell of herself as she deals with the trauma, making it a very different and potentially divisive psychological entry. Which, yeah, if there's nothing left of you, why not become a fucking stranger? Why not? You killed him. Where are you going to go after this? Therapy? You might as well just become one. Intense scheduling.
Or maybe go to therapy.
Yeah. But we're talking about a horror movie here, and it's like that was my biggest problem with this franchise. Is this a prequel to the ones we've seen? Is this a reboot? We don't know.
I don't think it could be a prequel.
Well, obviously not now because she kills him. But
well, even then, the Liv Tyler version, the technology, they didn't have like.
Good point.
You think about just cell phones alone, like they could have done a prequel. They could have done something cool with that. But then she wouldn't have had like an iPhone now and things like that.
I mean, Tokyo Drift technically takes place between Fast and Furious 6 and 7.
Is nothing is
right, but still, I mean, it's 2000 and what, 16, 17, and then Tokyo Drift. They've still got the flip phones. I mean,
but it's Fast and the Furious. They don't care.
Yeah, but
no, I'm just saying, if they were to do a prequel, there should have been things like that.
I guess. Yeah, but okay. So the final transformation. The film moves away from just survival to a more complex, almost twisted psychological battle where the lead killer attempts to make Maya one of them.
You should have just kept it a battle for survival,
or made her become one of them. Either way, either one of those would have been better than what we actually got. The film explores more of the people behind the masks, offering a deeper, albeit controversial look at their motivations. Yeah.
Except for Gregory. We still don't know.
I mean, no, we saw him as a kid.
Yeah, but you don't know why.
I guess.
Other than he wanted to impress the pinup chick, I guess.
The blackest eye.
But then once she's dead, he's just like, cool. Next one, put the mask on her.
Yeah. Hidden details. While the film has been criticized for certain plot decisions, it was designed to be a long form story where all 3 films tell one continuous arc. Yeah, supposedly there
could have been one movie.
Well, then that's the thing. This was one movie that I feel like the editor or the director or whatever did not want to chop up. I'm sorry, did not want to cut things out of, and then so they edited it into 3 movies, and it really just didn't need to be. Supposedly, and I call bullshit. There was a 4-hour, 19-minute cut shown in LA a couple weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. I call bullshit because I don't care if this is cut in 3s or if it's one simultaneous cut. It's still gonna fucking suck.
I just want to know. I'm a TikTok person. I like to scroll through TikTok. I go live, things like that. I saw one particular individual on TikTok that does horror review, and he literally stated that this is the best trilogy in any horror ever made.
What'd you watch, homie? Because we didn't watch that.
I want to know who signed your check and who paid you with that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, if you can scrounge one up, what's your favorite scene of this film?
No.
Pick one.
No. I guess my favorite scene, but then it quickly goes into a you could have done this better, again, still, is when she kills Dollface
Hmm.
while he's like distracted, and she does that. In the moment, I'm like, yes, finally fight for yourself. Don't let them put this mask on you, because they put the mask on her, but she's still tied up.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, okay, she's killed her. She's gonna whip around and at least injure him and try to run.
Yeah.
But then she didn't.
Right.
So even though I would say that might be my favorite scene, you still didn't do a good job with it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm going to go the scene in the church. As much as I just bitched about it, I'm going to say the scene in the church. That was like, because take away the fact that it's like, it was a big what the fuck on his reveal. It was still more intense because the guy doesn't smile unless he's being a jackass. Like, he kind of smiled at the end when he was like wanting her to kill him. But the guy is just very hardcore RBF. And he did make that scene creepy, and the exchange was very basic, which these movies are kind of your basic, not a big motive, not a big anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was on brand. Yeah, it was on brand with this film. So I guess it was fine in that aspect, but yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the death count for this film was?
I don't care. No. Well, there's the sister, the brother-in-law, the deputy, the guard, the dad, Gregory. 6?
12. Yeah, I don't know how.
Oh, well, yeah.
There's all the other victims, like the couple and the flashback.
The flashback stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What was your favorite kill or death?
I guess it would still be when she killed Dollface. But again, then immediately he's like pushed her hand to kill the innocent woman, and I didn't like that one.
It's okay to say Dollface if you want.
Yeah, I guess it would be that. I did think like a oh shit moment when he killed the sister.
Yeah.
That was a creepy oh shit moment. But again, she didn't do anything.
Right.
She just stood there like, and a tear falls down. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go Sheriff Rodder's death. I thought it was kind of cool how she just came down the stairs and you'd think there was going to be exchange, and all of a sudden, pop 1, pop 2. She double tapped on his ass.
No, that's true.
Oh, that was kind of neat.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to get into our grading scales here. So on The Couple That Slays Together, we do not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different grading systems because it's our show and we want to. So we start off here with our rating by letter grade. Okay. Brandon, what was your letter grade for this one?
I am going to give this an A+ in another timeline, but in this timeline, I'm going to go ahead and give it an F. There was nothing redeemable about this movie. There was nothing redeemable really about this franchise, this trilogy, I should say, because again, the first 2 are phenomenal. They are basic. They're you were here type of thing, and they really, you never find out who the strangers were in the original 2. And even it's funny because our friend that we made about a couple months ago, our new friend Stephanie, she posted on her Facebook, one of the biggest flexes I can ever use as a horror fan is that I'm not going to see The Strangers Chapter 3, nor have I seen this trilogy in theater. I thought that was a hilarious post. What about you? What'd you give this for a letter grade?
No sugarcoating. I gave it an F.
Yeah.
What about your rating by number?
I gave it a 1.
I don't know if you have the graphic for it, but if you had a 0, I'd choose it.
Oh.
If you don't, we'll go with 1.
Okay.
And lastly, on this section, rating by stars.
Well, to be honest with you, I did give it half a star because I just don't feel like I can give anything no stars because, again, it's one of those things like the what is the SATs? You get however many points just for writing your name down. So, I mean, yeah, this shouldn't necessarily have been made, but, the actors still came and worked. And, Richard Brake is a creep. He's great all the time. I say he's a creep in a good way. He's good for a horror movie. And I did think that Gregory to me is like Rowan Campbell in Halloween Ends. I could tell he's a really awesome psycho, really good at what he was given. He was good at what he had to work with. But I would love to see this actor Gabriel Basso, I could see him playing a psycho in something else. So with that in mind,
The main Gregory,
yep,
yeah,
I gave this movie half a star. What'd you give it for your star rating?
0.
Okay.
I the way you said it makes me sound like I'm more savage, but I didn't find anything. I love horror movies. I usually can find at least something that I kind of like. I felt like this was just wasteful
Yeah.
of time, of energy, of effort, of the storyline. If you're going to take something and make either a reboot, you've got to do it better than what this was done.
Yeah.
If you've listened to our show in the past, I don't like plot holes. I don't like being left with that still doesn't make sense. I don't like being left with, but why?
Yeah.
And that's all this served up.
Yeah.
Phenomenal performance by the Maya when there's no dialogue and she's still emoting very well.
Mm-hmm.
But
how do you think
it gets to the point where the only emoting that she gets is a tear running down her cheek.
Yeah.
And that's fine for a scene. That might be even fine for a couple of scenes. But making 3 entire movies of this is just no.
Yeah.
No.
What did you think of that Gabriel Basso, the Gregory? What did you think of his performance and such?
Flat.
Okay.
Flat. I when he's wearing the mask, it's creepy. When he's not, it's kind of like, dude, are you in there?
Yeah.
But maybe that's what they wanted for the character, and it's not, on the actor. That's what the director and writers and things wanted. I don't know. It's kind of like when you're like out on a date with somebody and you're just like trying to pull a conversation out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is like tedious and just I'm drowning in like this is getting nowhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of hours and work put in that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
I will say this though about the cast, Gregory, Gabriel and Madeline Petch, and even the other two, Amy Horvath and stuff. I will say this: if they were ever at a con, I'd probably pay them in. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought they did an alright job. I mean,
yeah.
Rowan Campbell's character was garbage in Halloween Ends, and you know what? He's one of the nicest guys I've ever freaking met, and he made you feel like you're having a good time, so he sat there and talked to you, listen to your stories. And so I've got a feeling that some of these folks would be the same way. So I probably would, because it helps keep the genre alive, whether or not it's garbage. So,
yeah. Well, the last thing that we like to rate on is rewatchability. And personally, I feel like this is, if you were going to weight our grade system, it's the heaviest. To me, it matters the most.
Yep.
Is, do you want to see this again? Either one more time or 100 more times?
Yeah.
Brandon, what's your rewatchability score?
Well, to be honest with you, I like to use the term replay value. I'm going to surprise you in this one. I would say that I'm unlikely to watch this again. Now, the reason why I didn't say I'll never watch this again is because this is still part of a franchise. And, I caught you watching The Strangers Chapter 1 probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did.
And all 3 of them I feel like are garbage still. But if I'm in a point where I'm watching, if I'm just like, all right, no matter how stupid these were, if I'm going to watch all 5 Strangers or even that stupid trilogy again in the 5 years or 10 years, I'm still going to put on the shitty one. I watched Halloween Ends this past year. It still sucked, but I still watched it because it was still kind of the bookend to that shitty trilogy. And it's like watching the bad ones kind of still keeps, like I just said, keeps the genre alive, keeps it going.
Yeah.
And not there are a lot of people that think there are certain Scream films that aren't good. I think all of them are 100% perfect, but that's my bias. But even if they're still trash, I'll still give it a watch because it was still something that they worked on. It was still something, whatever. And I know that there are people like, really? You'd fucking watch that again? Let me tell you what, there's probably a good 500 to 1,000 movies I'd watch before these, So, but it's one that I'm unlikely to watch again. But if I do, it's going to be years down the road.
Yeah.
What about you?
So, to touch on what you said, I did rewatch the first one. If you were to take out the other two, The Liv Tyler and The Prey at Night, and just solely do these 3 movies, the first one is the one I like the most.
Yep.
This third one is the one I like the least, which is shocking because I really didn't like the second one with the boar, pig, whatever that thing was. I would rewatch the first one before I would do anything with the second or third one.
Yeah.
It had more dialogue. It had more of that survivability, the scariness of being a home invasion, things like that.
Yeah.
The second one and this one, it was just like, get to the point. What are we doing? Why are we doing it?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to rewatch it.
Yeah.
But to your point, if by chance we had that wild hair, maybe it needs to be an unlikely.
Yeah. Do me a favor.
I kind of wish that for this entire trilogy that I could put it on like the double speed like you can on TikToks.
Yeah.
And just watch it in double speed because it seems like it's just they've wasted so much scenes and time, and it did not need to be 3 movies. It could have been 1 longer movie, maybe 2 if you were really pushing it.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Rank. So we're in a generation now where we're seeing completed, rebooted franchises. Okay. We've got Halloween 2018, Jurassic World, The Strangers. We've got 3 new trilogies. Jurassic World shit out a 4th one, but
I haven't seen that one.
I know, but just based on those trilogies where the first one is, out of all 3 of these, the first one is the best one, and then the last 2 suck, which kind of makes their first ones also suck. Rank them like from best to worst.
I don't know. I guess Halloween, Jurassic World, and then The Strangers.
Yeah, I'd go the same route because
but I am just not. I'm not a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park person.
Yeah.
I saw the original, the OG, back in the day, and that was good. To me, the sequels to the original weren't good.
Yeah.
Jurassic World was okay, but the sequels to that weren't good.
Right.
So yeah, I think, and like Halloween, I liked the first one.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for the second one. Like I still remember when they did the preview of Jamie Lee Curtis and she's like, let it burn.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is going to be so good.
But here's the thing. I would say that Halloween Kills has more replay value than Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, and Strangers Chapter 2 and 3.
Yep.
Because as shitty as that movie was, it's still fun to watch Michael Myers fuck up that entire town in the street.
Yeah.
And it's still fun to kind of see him, the kills that he does. It did. Just as a whole, it was, like it wasn't great, and the Halloween, it bothers me because, they took away the fact that it was his sister and all that stuff. But
yeah.
Anyway, so.
Well, that was Strangers 3 for 2026.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments. Maybe we're completely off base. Maybe we missed something. Maybe there's something that you find redeemable.
Yeah.
Maybe you can sell us on this, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've graded several solid movies. We've seen several solid movies, and it's not a perfect world to where you're going to get the best movie every single time. Right. And, I commend them for trying,
Expectations aren't met most of the time. You go into it really having high expectations. Very rarely does it get met. And
I really don't think we're going to probably see another Strangers movie, a bare minimum 10 to 15 years. It's going to be a while.
It would be interesting to see another director's take on it if they listened to the fans a little bit more, because I do think that like the Liv Tyler version, it does have like a cult following. There are folks that truly do love these killers, these villains, and to go a different route, I would go see it and see if it was anything better.
Well, and I'll also piggyback off that. The original was also so scary that, with how, in a positive way, how bland and basic and plain that it was, to where you strip it away, you strip away all character. There's no love for like Ghostface, or like
Right.
you're not laughing like you are at Chucky and Tiffany, or you're not like, you're not laughing at like the little mannerisms of Art the Clown. No,
Right.
these are literally just three strangers who you don't fucking know who they are, and
Knocking
they're
on your door.
right, and their motive is just because you're here. That is
Yeah.
bone chilling.
Yeah.
That is taking away everything about being a human, and it is basically just turning your victims into soulless animals, and
Yeah.
that is creepy. The original caused my sister to never want to see a horror movie again. Now, she has watched a few since then, but it took her out of the genre. It was so scary because of how soulless it is.
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, well, yeah, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Really thank you for joining us. And hey, it's been a solid year of films so far. Again, we're in, it's February, 9th today? Maybe 8th? The 8th, I think? No, 7th. Sorry. It's February 7th. And, we've already got, good or bad, we've already got 5 solid horror movies. I say solid for this one because it's part of a big franchise.
Yeah.
But
And we have a lot more to come. I cannot wait for Mortuary Assistant.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite games, and the trailer has my hopes up. It looks very similar to the game. I am curious to see, because the game has 6 known endings that you can possibly get.
Yeah.
So you can keep repeating this game and getting different endings. And I'm curious how this movie will end it.
Yeah, I am too.
And then we also, of course, have Scream.
Yep.
That's coming out here soon.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I am so excited for Scream to come out, if for nothing else, to stop seeing every fucking day, I think this person's the killer.
Yeah.
I think that person's the killer. I think it's
Yeah.
Corey Gillis from Scream 2, who calls her on the fuck, Corey Gillis, whatever. But yeah, it's going to be a really good year for horror, man. I'm so excited. It's questionable whether or not Terrifier 4 will be out, but Scream 7.
They're trying to get it into December again.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting.
Who knows? This is February.
Yeah, and it's rumored that because they're shooting Scream 8 so close to Scream 7, that Scream 7 may end on a cliffhanger. We don't know. We'll be able to talk to you guys about it in a month, or potentially in a week.
Yeah.
So,
well, keep in mind, guys, you can check us out here. These are a list of all of our socials. As always, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. All these things are free and help to grow our community so that we can get some more engagement in here, because we want to hear from you.
Yeah, and we want to just say thank you to those who are already following us. If you're watching us on YouTube, if this is your favorite show, or if you like to listen to us on like a Monday morning on your way to work, either way, we really appreciate you guys listening or watching. So, and if you want to reach out to us, you can hit us up at thecouplethatslays@gmail.com. Shoot us an email if there's anything you want to see, watch, review, unbox, whatever. We'd love to do that.
Maybe we missed something and you're like, dude, if you would have caught this one little thing, you would have given Strangers 3 an A.
Right. So I highly doubt that. But
if you know, share.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Again, my name is... Excuse me, try that again. I'm burping like crazy.
Jesus.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today, guys. And again, as always, my name is Brandon.
I'm Katie. And until next time, go enjoy your horror.
Is Tamara gone? I hope so.
We're the couple that slays together. Oh.